Ramen no more. Off-campus housing at America's College looks increasingly like resort hotel living with pools, hot tubs, game rooms, and fine dining. Bloomberg did an analysis of 94 student housing complexes across the country. 55% lived in properties with on-site tanning salons. 45% have beach volleyball courts. 38% actually offered study rooms. Now that seems excessive. Education is now a bubble like housing was a decade ago. The goal then was to create an ownership society, so it subsidized more and more house construction and renovation through ever riskier loans. Now we're subsidizing education with more loans available to more students than ever. But the return on the college investment is falling. Colleges haven't changed to make their curriculum more valuable to the modern economy, and debt-ridden graduates can't find good jobs. But where's the incentive for colleges to change when the money keeps rolling in? All they need to do is make sure their schools are full. How to do that? Luxury accommodations. When the bubble bursts, there'll be plenty of blame to go around. But for now, live it up, kids. It's the last luxury you'll be experiencing for a while. And learn how to use that espresso machine in your dorm. It's going to come in handy when you're pulling me a double shot. Charles, was my comparison ridiculous or was it dead on?
Sorry, which comparison?
Between the housing bubble and
the
education.
No, I think that's exactly right. I think that's exactly right. Yeah, it's got ridiculous. One of the problems, though, here is that we have told young people two things. Firstly, that if they don't go and get a degree, that they're worthless, or at least they're worth less than those who have degrees. And I think that's outrageous. I mean, my plumber earns far more than I do. And it's also a very odd way of looking at self-worth. The second thing we've done is we've told people that if they go to college, they'll have a good life, they'll make money. Well, that's just not true in all cases, especially as we have so many ridiculous majors now. You see the words I know in America, we don't have that in England.
Oh, what are they called?
Well, we just don't do it that way. It's completely different. But I basically went to university in Harry Potter, so it was a separate system. But no, I mean, this is a real problem, quite seriously for a moment. This is a real problem. When you start telling people, you have to go here, otherwise you will have a bad life, then you're making the university system a license to print money and to give you very little in return.
And it's not just that. I mean, it's not just, go off to an Ivy League school. I mean, they say these kids are going into debt to get to community college and whatnot.
Yeah, I mean, I think Trump dorm looks nice, but I think it's a bit much, you know? I remember like eating Easy Mac in college and like sleeping 5 feet away from my other roommate, and he would dip Skull into a water bottle. I'd be too tired to go brush my teeth, so I would use a water bottle, and then I'd get some like Skull on my brush.
Oh!
That's how I remember college.
At least you didn't drink it.
I know, but I remember like that.
Right?
There were no massage therapists. I did drink it, but there were no massage therapists or like tanning beds. This is ridiculous.
I think, Kennedy, they should suffer in college. It's the only way that's going to make adulthood valuable.
I'm going to go out on a limb here. I didn't go to college until my late 20s when I could actually pay for it. And, by that time I had a mortgage. And, I had my own housing to worry about, and I had greater incentive to do well in a major that might actually help me in my career, God forbid. It's really interesting because, when we talk about colleges, we talk about limiting free speech and being coddled and safe spaces and trigger warnings and all the things that come with it. And people who go in their late teens and early 20s are so bubble wrapped that when they actually emerge, they're like vulnerable baby rats.
Yes.
And they'll get sunburned, after just a few seconds outside.
Well, not sunburned. They're out in their decks in college, so
but
they get
it's
the
the same
handle.
thing here. Like they think it's like kids who go to Pepperdine in Malibu. They've got a view of the ocean. They've got this incredible housing, and then once they're done with college, then they have to move like to the Inland Empire and get minimum wage jobs, and it's a total shock. So you have all these people who are going to come out of college completely depressed, and they're going to be running the country, and they're hosed, and because of the trickle-down effect, when they're in power, we're hosed.
Wow, we're all hosed. Well, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, she's right. How do you leave from like living in like a steam shower to working as a barista? Your self-esteem is too high. You shouldn't have this inflated self-worth.
You just turn the coffee machine on really hot so that you can remember your glory days.
You can see.
The point is that they shouldn't have a high self-esteem. They've accomplished nothing. That's my point.
Stay living with your parents until your late 20s, not moving in with them in your late 20s.